Welcome to The Real Scoop. I'm Jane Nielsen, your host and realtor at Pinnacle Residential Properties. I am here to give you the latest scoop on Wellesley real estate. This week, I am pleased to welcome Jeannine Johnson, publisher of Wellesley Hills Magazine and several other neighborhood publications, including Weston Life. Welcome, Jeannine.
Thank you.
First, here are the real estate numbers. You have heard me say that in the fall, a whistle blows that only dogs and buyers can hear. The whistle is now blowing. Since October 4th, 3 new single-family homes were added to the supply and 10 sold. There are now 150 homes remaining for sale. 2 of the homes that went under agreement were over $3 million, though we still have a healthy remaining supply of 35 homes in that price range. There are 37 homes remaining between $1 million and $1.5 million, and 33 remaining between $1.5 million and $2 million. So those are healthy inventories for buyers. Now, on to our guest. So Jeannine, tell us a little about the concept of Wellesley Hills Living Magazine.
Sure. Well, thank you for having me, Jane. So Wellesley Hills Living is actually part of a larger organization called N2 Publishing. We are a national company, and basically we just partner with neighborhoods all over the country, and we help them have their own private neighborhood newsletter that's all about them, their kids, their pets, athlete of the month, yard of the month, home of the month, just really fun social information. It's really all geared towards neighbors getting to know each other.
So it's called Wellesley Hills Magazine, but it's actually specifically for just the neighborhood that is historically known as Belvedere Estates, and also known as the Country Club. So from Forest to Abbott to Seaver to Whiting, and then the farthest east I think you go is down to Magus. That would be the end of the area.
Yeah.
So it's a loosely defined neighborhood.
Right. So we look for neighborhoods that are sort of defined, which is kind of hard to do in New England.
Mm-hmm.
Our company started in North Carolina, where there are 1,000 home-gated communities that are named, the preserve. So that's how our company started 14 years ago. When we branched up to New England, we really just look for pretty well-defined communities that have a sense of identity and are really full of families. So there's really no shortage of content, because we really do want to focus on neighbors getting to know each other and family life kinds of content.
Mm-hmm. So if someone wanted to contribute pictures of their pets or write a story, they're welcome to do that.
Absolutely. So we look for our neighborhood residents, so those folks who live in the country club neighborhood, to supply our content. So to share articles about their kids, their pets, accomplishments they may have achieved or their children have achieved. Fun stuff like yard of the month. If you love to garden, let's do an article about it.
Ooh, as a matter of fact, we did our own yard of the month in this segment called Living Spaces.
Yep.
So this is my partner Maureen's beautiful container garden that she has in her condo on Forest Street, and I thought the pictures came out great.
Absolutely, and these are all pictures that Maureen, who is a resident, sent in to us. We publish it, make it look beautiful, and the article is all about how she loves to garden and has her own container garden. It's just a really fun article.
And another really fun series, this has my friend Meredith Starr on the cover, all about Remarkable Women of Wellesley. So tell us a little bit about how that came to be.
Yeah, that was actually a brainchild of, I work with another neighborhood in Westboro, and that was a brainchild of one of my residents who wanted to write articles about wonderful women in the community who do wonderful things, a lot of times behind the scenes, and she really wanted to recognize other women in the community. So we brought that idea to Wellesley, and it's really taken off. The ladies here in the neighborhood love to nominate their friends and associates who are doing wonderful things for the community, and a lot of times do go maybe unnoticed or under the radar, but they deserve some praise. So we love that concept.
So the remarkable women don't necessarily have to be living in the neighborhood of Wellesley, just any part of Wellesley?
No, Meredith happens to live in the neighborhood, but a lot of our residents are just writing articles about someone else in the community. So it doesn't necessarily have to be about a woman who lives in the country club neighborhood, but about a friend of theirs or someone that they would really like to give some praise and attention to.
And of course, one of my favorite articles is the Pet of the Month page.
Yes, very popular article. In fact, that is written by one of our junior writers. So we have a junior writer program where we invite anyone from the neighborhood. I have had writers as young as 6 and 7 years old send in poems that they've written, but our pets articles are written by a junior writer who lives in the neighborhood, and she loves to write articles about pets in the neighborhood. So that's been a really, really popular piece, and it's just fun. Lots of fun.
And then for businesses, there's 2 separate listings. There's one which has a listing of advertisers, and then there's also which advertisers are paying to be in.
Correct.
And then you also have one that is neighborhood businesses, and you do that as a complimentary service if just someone wants to put in their name and their business name and address.
Right, yeah, it's just the resident business guide, sort of a networking tool for neighbors to get to know each other. You know, a lot of businesses or business owners who live in our neighborhood may not be, you know, the perfect fit for advertising, but they may just want to be sharing information with their neighbors, like, hey, this is what I do. So we put the resident business guide in, and again, it's just a fun way of getting to know your neighbors and recognizing business owners who live right here in our community.
So the Business Spotlight, tell us a little bit about how you're featuring an advertiser to share information about that business.
Yeah, so sponsors, we work with sponsors on a really, really limited basis. So we really want to look for business sponsors for the publication who are a great recommendation for our neighborhood. So we really put a lot of time and effort into making sure that any business involved in our publication is of the highest reputation in their field of expertise. And then we offer them, obviously, ad space, but also feature articles on their business. We'll do a 2-page spread on their business, and even maybe have some events where it's like a neighbor night out kind of thing, and businesses are invited to come out and have dinner with us, really get to know people in the neighborhood.
Oh, so I've joined you on a couple of events. Once we all went and made beer in Natick. That was really fun. And then sometimes a local restaurant will invite us in to sample some complimentary hors d'oeuvres. So tell us a little bit about how that works and who's invited.
Yeah, so we try to put together a neighbor night out each and every month and keep it fun, social. Probably one of the most popular ones that we do is the restaurant review, where we go to a local restaurant and the restaurant supplies food, usually, the top 3 or 4 things on their menu, and totally free of charge. So we just invite maybe 15 to 20 people from the neighborhood out, a couple of business sponsors to come out and just have dinner, have a great time with the restaurant. The restaurant gets a 2-page spread in the next edition where we review our experience. It's always great. And it's just a lot of fun for both the neighborhood and for the restaurants involved.
And if you can't make it to the event, you can at least read the review and find out what you should taste when you get there.
That's right. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. So we're planning a ladies' night coming up, hopefully in February, maybe featuring some blowouts, some nails, some really, really fun stuff for just the ladies. Guys, we're working on you too. We're going to maybe do coffee and cars or something. So it'll be fun.
And another fun feature is the House of the Month, or is that exactly what you're calling it? Because do you have one every month, or you're looking for a house to feature every month?
So one really popular article that runs through all of our neighborhoods within Into is the Home of the Month. So think of the kitchen tour that's so popular here in Wellesley. We like to feature a Home of the Month in our neighborhood every month. And it's just really fun. It's people opening their doors and sharing their favorite rooms or the favorite parts of their home. And it's just a lot of fun to share that with your neighbors. It's like having a little open house just for the neighborhood.
And of course, you've also told me that one of the most popular pages is the one that I help you with and contribute, the Real Estate Resource Guide, where we list all the recent sales and a little bit of information, the address, sale price, square footage, just kind of help our neighbors keep track of what's happening in the neighborhood.
Yeah, it actually is. I did a survey for another neighborhood that I work with, and this real estate resource page actually came up as one of the most popular parts of our publication, which is a shock even to me. But I gotta tell you, it seems so simple, but everybody really is curious. what their home value is worth, what that home down the street sold for. So it's just a really, really great resource for the neighborhood.
And the whole concept is really so, old school in that you hear everything is going, online, and there's just no demand for publishing on paper anymore. So I find it very interesting that people are still so hungry for something they can hold in their hands and have it be so local, which is really quite nice.
Yep. Into Publishing is one of the fastest growing companies in the country for 6 years in a row.
Oh, tell us about the award that you just shared with me.
And we just were named number 15 in the country for the best places for women to work.
Oh, so terrific.
Very, very proud of that. And we also just announced for the year of 2016 that we are reaching our goal of $2 million supporting the fight of human trafficking.
Oh my goodness, is that your chosen charity?
For our entire company, yeah. It's really exciting that we've already met our goal. So.
Oh, terrific. Well, maybe there's an article in there for me to write about local efforts against that, too.
I think that would be a great idea.
Okay, terrific. And so if somebody wanted to share information, how should they get in touch with you?
Give us a call or send an email. So we have an email, whl@n2pub.com. Actually, it's whlnews@n2pub.com. Or you can give us a call at 508-612-7985. Obviously, if you get the publication, our information is right in the front inside. So
excellent. So you're always looking for new contributions, new ideas.
Absolutely.
So in high school sports, if you have an area of interest, if you or your children have an area of interest, we would love to read about you. Well, thank you, Jeannine, and congratulations on that award. Because I think when you first came to Wellesley, were we the first community no, you did Brookline first, or Chestnut Hill first, and then you kind of moved west, or
Cohasset, South Dartmouth, Duxbury, Wellesley, Westboro.
Terrific.
Yep.
Well, thank you again, and we'll look forward to seeing you the next time we have the restaurant night out, which I'll plan to be there. If you are looking for more information about Wellesley Hills Magazine, you can reach Jeannine at 508-612-7985. And thank you for joining us at The Real Scoop. And if you have a suggestion about a future guest or a Wellesley event you would like to promote, please give me a call at 781-223-7338 or visit my website at jannenielsen.com. You can also contact me to hear about how the latest real estate news has impacted the value of your home. See you next time at The Real Scoop.